What is up, you guys? Mega Capital G here, and we're here to throw shade at other Yugioh. Oh my god, I can never keep a straight face when I do that stuff. Alright, but yeah, for real guys, Ace of Bats here. So, I heard that we had a new ban list, so I thought to get on the internet and check it out. And technically we do have a new ban list, but it's a little Japanesey. Anywho, without further ado, but no, we have the OCG Forbidden and Limited list for October 1st of 2017. So this doesn't actively affect the game. Passively, it can affect the game, honestly. So, at least over here in the TCG, over here in the States, and in Europe, and in Latin America, it's like a tribe-infecting virus is the big one right here that I think really should come back anyway, so glad to see that. But starting off with the top, it looks like our new forbidden cards are Masterpiece, the True Dracos Slaying King, and Draconic Diagram. So Draconic Diagram, which searches out Masterpiece, and Lithosagium, and a number of other cards here. So it looks like the Trap card. I'm trying to remember the name of the Trap card. Waterfall of Dragon Souls. I suspect that's actually going to be a bigger deal to replace Draconic Diagram. Just going forward here, so that'll be interesting. Masterpiece, you figure that they'd probably just go ahead and replace it with Dynamite, the True Draco Fighter here, this bad boy. But it looks like he actually got limited, so we are going back a page on this one. But yeah, it looks like he got limited, along with Tribe Infecting Virus, which was banned. Alistair the Invoker, that's kind of a surprise. I don't think Alistair really did anything bad. I guess he's part of a big engine. The Invoked engine is really big in the Japanese metagame. And so are dinosaurs. They've been very oppressive for a little while, so we're seeing Soul Eating Oviraptor and Baby Cerosaurus. Never thought I'd live to see Baby Cerosaurus get banned, or limited, I should say, in this particular case. Same deal with Soul Eating Oviraptor. But actually, again, it seems a little banhammery. They must have something very interesting coming out in the OCG to make them want to do all this. Maybe see Dragon Buster, another one that just got hit really hard, which I don't think it really deserves it. It got power creeped with a lot of the new stuff here, so we don't need to really murder anything that's already been power creeped. Same thing with Denlong. A lot of people are talking about it. It topped the world, so it's kind of a big deal. We've seen the price spike up a bit, but I don't think it really deserves that. And I guess the new spell books have been pretty hype. I've actually been talking to Corey about that. If you guys haven't seen his channel, I'll link him below. But yeah, you mentioned that he's been playing spell books a lot lately, and I've seen his profile for it. And it's actually pretty lit, so all good stuff. And of course the rest of the True Draco cards, the Heritage, Return, and Trickstar Reincarnation. That one was kind of a surprise since it's such a relatively new card out here, but obviously they've had it for a few formats out in Japan, so not a big deal. Here's the big one I'm upset about. Terraforming. I think I'm going to have a discussion, because Mr. J actually and we've talked about this consistently. He thinks terraforming should be limited or banned. I don't think so. I find it highly unnecessary to ban or limit terraforming, just because it doesn't do anything except for search for an oppressive field spell, or a regular field spell, or a useless field spell. It searches for a field spell. I think it's the field spells themselves, things like Diagram up here, Union Hanger, Cosmo Town, Sky Iris, Domain of the True Monarchs, nonsense like that. That's really oppressive, and those are the things that need to get hit on the list. So I don't believe terraforming's a real problem, but apparently Konami does, because it doesn't look like they're slowing down with these really oppressive lists here. Or with these really oppressive field spells, I guess would be the word for it. Moving on, talking about semi-limited here, so limited to 2. Summoner Monk, which we've been doing in the TCG for a while, and it doesn't look like it's a painful thing. Something I was surprised about, Windwitch Ice Spell, again, Windwitch Engine, Windwitch Invoked are kind of a big rogue deck over there, apparently. Along with Max C finally coming down to 2 over there. We've had it in 1 over here. A lot of people are thinking it's just going to get straight banned at this point. Another surprise, Pot of Avarice going to 2 here. That one kind of shocks me. I'm astonished that they can have that over the OCG too, but I guess they're power creep past that. Future Fusion, I'm astonished this didn't just go to 3. I guess Infernities or a thing still. And Fossil Dig without Soul Eating Oviraptor and the I guess Baby Cerosaurus. I didn't really expect this to get hit, but I guess 2's alright or whatever. So there's that. But yeah, Ice Bell. That's a shocker right there. And off the list, who did they free? They freed, looks like they freed Pendulum Sorcerer. Looks like he's the first one that got freed, and I think he definitely had that coming. We have him at 3 in the TCG. We've never had any reason to ban him, so that's been excellent. Witch of the Black Forest, you got that errata, so that makes sense. So it looks like Skarm's coming back. I mean, they're releasing that new Burning Abyss support, that makes sense. Rescue Cat got an errata, so it's free. Burial from a Different Dimension. I'm astonished this one's actually still the way it is. Now, it's a quick play spell card. I've noticed it's actually pretty helpful in certain decks. Magnet Warriors, actually, it's one I tossed in there recently just to get some reloads, and you can actually do a lot of damage with Berserkion with it. I'm sure there are more meta decks that'd be more useful with, but just something to consider. Also, Fire Formation Tenki without Zoo over there. Obviously, they can bring back Tenki. I don't think Tenki's a real problem. Lunalights still desperately need this card. Preparation of Rites, looks like that came off the list. What else? Sacrifice. Again, we're getting some more good stuff in the in that new Duelist pack that they're releasing in Japan. And Please are getting a Link monster, so I'm sure that's going to help support it too. Dragon's Ravine, now that there is no such thing as Dragon Ruler, is finally safe to come off the list, and hopefully that helps with Dragoonities, getting some tops over there. Domain of the True Monarchs, looks like that one finally came back to 3. We never got that hit over here, so it's not something I'm terribly concerned about. And Wavering Eyes, most importantly, is finally back to 3. That's something I'm really excited about just for Pendulum decks, since you guys know I'm a huge Pendulum player. We're pretty much the Pendulum channel over here, so that's kind of a big deal for us. And Wavering Eyes, for a while, it was a super oppressive card when it was legal, and thought having it at 1 was fine. Now that Pendulums have this huge nerf, it's probably best that it comes back to 3. It would be nice to see Unicorn come back too, but apparently it's just not the time yet. But we'll see. Maybe when we get our ban list, we'll get something interesting. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we got our Unlimiteds over here if you want to take one more look. And then we have our Semi-Limiteds, our Limiteds, and our Forbiddens over here. And what do I think it's going to do to the TCG? I don't think it's going to do much. Hopefully it encourages a limit of these cards. And I don't think any of these cards desperately need a limit. Maybe Denlong. I'll push for that if needed. Terraforming, I have opinions on that. We might actually talk about that later. Ice Bell, again, I have opinions on that too. We can talk about that later. And a lot of these actually I think definitely deserve to be at 3, as is too. So looks like a solid list. They're doing a little meta nuke over there in Japan, and that's fine. They got new stuff coming out. There's new Link stuff. Obviously, as you know, we have cool Red Eyes stuff over here, so hopefully this will inspire a little bit of versatility. Or not versatility. This will inspire some variety over here in the TCG too. And yeah, with that new ban list that we're allegedly getting in the next couple of days. So I guess I'll go ahead and do a video about that one. That pops up. If it pops up anytime this month. And if it doesn't, well, I guess it just doesn't. But that's all the time we have for today, guys. We'll go ahead and do something interesting. We're going to go ahead and go out to locals, actually, this week, so I should have a little something interesting for you by the weekend. Might talk a new epic deck profile of history, an honest deck profile, as I like to call them. And we'll rock and roll from there. But anyway, thanks again for hanging out with us, checking out this new Japanese ban list that isn't directly applicable to you, but is totally directly applicable to you at the same time. And rest in peace to the Dracos. But it's Bats, signing out.